and welcome to Mythical Meeples. Today I'll be reviewing the Highway Rider subclass for rogues from Grim Hollow for D&D 5e. For those of you who don't know, Grim Hollow is a set of books by Ghostfire Gaming with 3 core books, a campaign guide, monster grimoire and player's guide, all compatible with D&D's 5th edition. The third-party supplements focus on the dark aspects of fantasy, providing a grim, dark setting, with the player's guide providing a range of new backgrounds, races, subclasses and spells, and the player's guide and campaign guides both also contain rules for transformations, giving players the option to become vampires, werewolves or primordials, among many others. Today I'll be focusing on the Highway Rider Rogue subclass. Highway riders strike fear into the heart of travellers and merchants throughout the world. They use their swift steeds to claim their prize before making a quick getaway. Dick Turpin is a famous example of a highwayman, so this is a subclass to pick if you want to play a similar character. So when you choose this subclass at level 3, you get access to 3 new features: Hair Trigger, Trusty Mount, and Ride Them Down. Hair Trigger means you gain proficiency with black powder pistols, which are advanced range weapons that deal 2d4 piercing damage, have a range of 25/100 feet, and the black powder loading and light properties. You also gain new abilities with Hair Trigger, so when you roll for initiative, you can immediately use your reaction to do one of the following. You can make one weapon attack with advantage, you can move your speed or mount speed without provoking opportunity attacks, you can take the dodge action, or you can interact with an object or use an item. For me, the main appeal of this feature is getting in an attack before combat begins. You gain advantage on this attack roll, which means you're almost guaranteed to be able to do sneak attack damage, potentially killing a creature or seriously wounding it before combat even begins. The ability to move is also really useful, as you can get into a favourable position for yourself. As rogues usually have a high dexterity modifier, they should be going relatively early in combat, recovering their reaction to use uncanny dodge or other abilities quickly. The proficiency with black powder pistols is a thematic addition to the class, but I probably prefer to stick with a bow or crossbow if I'm planning on staying at range, simply because they've got the longer range and this gives you more flexibility. The second of your level 3 features is Trusty Mount. So at 3rd level, you can cast the Find Steed spell. The creature retains its beast type rather than changing to Celestial, Fey or Fiend, and you regain the ability to use this feature after finishing a long rest. While it's not the most useful feature in itself, it does synergise well with the build the class is going for, a mounted combatant, and allows you to make full use of the features without having to buy a steed, and allows you to regain your steed as well, allowing you to replace it easily if it's killed. Your 3rd level 3 feature is Ride Them Down. So you gain an additional way to use your sneak attack. You don't need advantage on the attack roll if you or your mount move at least 20 feet this turn, and you don't have disadvantage on the attack roll. All other rules apply as normal. So this is a good thematic feature, really allowing you to play into the hit and run feel of a mounted archer or pistolier. Also synergizes well with a rogue's mobility, as rogues can make good use of their cunning action to remain mobile whilst on foot, and you can get a lot of speed out of a mount as well, making this feature very easy to use. Ride Them Down allows highway riders to make consistent use of their sneak attack, so you could play as a mounted archer, firing at people as it rides past, or mounted gunslinger, again firing at people as you ride past, or playing something like a sword-based rogue, so as you go past your enemies, you swing at them and you'll get your sneak attack, provided you move fast enough. So at level 9, you get your next feature, which is Horse Lord. So you can spend a minute grooming and caring for your mount, granting it temporary hit points equal to double your rogue level. Additionally, you can use your bonus action to dash, disengage or dodge whilst you're controlling your mount. So this is a good way of keeping your mount alive for longer, effectively allowing its health to scale with yours. which can be one of the disadvantages of having a mount when you get to higher levels. It also allows you to become incredibly mobile whilst mounted, whether you're playing for ranged or melee, as you'll have access to the dash, disengage or dodge action as a bonus action. The dodge action as well could make you far more survivable and durable as a character. You get your next feature at level 13, True Grit. So you gain proficiency in Constitution saving throws. Additionally, when you make a Constitution saving throw to take half damage from an effect, you instead take no damage if you succeed and only half on a fail. So this functions just like the Rogue's evasion feature, but for Constitution. This seriously ups the staying power of your Rogue. I find a lot of damage dealing area of effect spells rely on Constitution or Dexterity. Obviously there are exceptions, and this significantly reduces the amount of damage you'll be taking. Proficiency in Constitution saving throws is also a good boost, giving a Rogue proficiency in 4 saving throws once it reaches level 15. Dexterity, Constitution, Intelligence, and Wisdom, with Dexterity, Constitution, and Wisdom being the 3 most common types of saving throw. Finally, at level 17, you get Desperado. So when you are reduced to 0 hit points, you can use your reaction to use your hair trigger ability before falling unconscious. So I just love this ability thematically. The idea of taking one final shot as a creature before going down has a very cinematic feel to it. With the way healing works in 5e as well, you could potentially use this feature a lot in one combat if you keep getting reduced to 0 hit points and then healed again. However, this does contend with your uncanny dodge reaction, so may not see a lot of use. If you can avoid taking damage to go down to 0 hit points, you'll probably want to do that over making an attack. This would probably be where I'd like pistols, as it just feels a lot more thematic to shoot a pistol going down than it does a bow or a crossbow. So I'm just going to mention one feat that I'd probably take with this subclass, and that would be the Mounted Combatant feat. It's a good feat to choose for this class, fitting very narratively with it, and it just makes your mount that much more durable. It also gives you advantage on melee attack rolls against any unmounted creature smaller than your mount, which means that you can trigger your sneak attack a lot more easily as well, and you're more likely to hit in the first place. So my final thoughts: overall, I really like the feel of this roguish archetype. I think the idea of playing a mounted archer is very cool, and the features from this class allow you to hit and run very easily. And you can kill single targets very efficiently. Mechanically, it feels very balanced compared to other rogues. You benefit from being highly mobile, which even rogues on foot are very good at, and your mobility only increases as you level up. I'd possibly put this on the stronger end of rogue subclasses. You do get some very strong abilities. You're incredibly survivable, but obviously you are somewhat dependent on having your mount. The class features synergize very well together as well, and with Trusty Mount and Horse Lord, you can almost guarantee you will have a mount to ride, but you could still potentially lose it, especially at higher levels. So that is it for this review. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with me, disagree with me? What are your thoughts on this subclass? If you did like this video as well, don't forget to like and subscribe. This helps me grow as a channel and be seen by more people, and you can get notifications as well when I upload a new video. There are quite a few other D&D videos on the channel, so feel free to go and check them out now. Alternatively, if you want to see more from me, you can head over to mythicalmeeples.com, or you can head over to my Patreon as well, where there's more content, and if you support me on Patreon, you'll gain access to sneak previews, behind the scenes, and additional content. And there's links for both of those in the description below. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.